Hello and welcome to my channel. Today I have a card that has double the fun. It's this double slider reveal card. And as you can see, this is for revealing the gender of an upcoming birth. However, it does not have to be for that particular occasion. It could be for any occasion, for a birthday, an anniversary, or a just because card. Also, it has the advantage of being attached to a little stand so that it can sit on a mantelpiece or a dresser or a side table, and the mechanism will still work. I'm not going to show you what the actual hidden message is for this particular card. You'll have to watch the video to see that. But if you would like to learn how I made this card and how you could make one for yourself, stick with me and I'll show you how. Cardstock cut already, and for the stand I've got a piece that is cut at 4.5 by 11 inches. I have a piece for the mechanism which is cut at 4.25 by 4.25. I also have the main tabs. These are cut at 3.5 by 4.25. I've got two of those. Then I have the reinforcement pull tabs, which are going to go to the back of these main tabs, and these I've cut at 2.5 by 4 5/8, but you could cut them to 2.5 by 4.5 if you wanted a smaller tab. And for the main card covering, or the topper, I've got a piece that is 4.5 by 4.5. Now the only scoring that's going to be done is on the actual stand and on the mechanism. So do those first. For the stand, you want to put it in your scoreboard with the long side and score at 4.5, at 9, at 9 7/8, and then again at 10 3/4. So you'll just have that small, that little 1/4 of an inch tab there on the end. For the mechanism, I'm going to come in 3/8 of an inch, and that's where you're going to start your little tabs. So at 3/8 and then at 3 7/8, because that would be 1, 2, 3. But you're only going to go down to 3/8 of an inch. Now, since I don't have, what I could do is just take this and mark 3/8 of an inch. So 1, 2, 3, and that's as far down as I want to actually score. Okay, so 3/8 of an inch. You could use your ruler also just to make these marks, but since they're already in here, 1, 2, 3. Okay, do it on this side as well, and hopefully this will all make sense in just a moment when we start to actually do the cutting. So these, in fact, let's put this back in here and just mark where the 3/8 inch is. Just mark all the way down so that we know where we're actually going to be cutting along. So 1, 2, 3. Okay. So we want to leave this bit intact. Okay. to remove all of this, all of that. So we're going to have like a very, very fat H in the end. So just going to cut that off. I started to do the wrong thing there. Oh, I did. So I can fix that in just a moment. So we're going to cut. Go ahead and do this side first. And then we're just going to cut along that score line there. What I'll do here is just take a bit of my tape and I'll just reinforce that. So where I started to cut there in the wrong place, I just take a bit of tape put that there. Kind of like putting Humpty Dumpty together again. So now I can come down here and take that last bit off. So now we have something that looks a bit like this. The stand is going to fold and burnish. Going to do is on this 1, 2, 3, third line down, actually fold it into a mountain and this one into a valley fold, so it comes in, so that when it comes together it's going to make a little stem here. So that is going to be folded in like so, okay, and it will be attached with some either tape or glue. To glue this down, I'm just going to take my adhesive, my glue, and put it here. You could use red liner tape. That would also be a very good option. And then just match those ends up. And I'll give it a moment to dry before I actually try to stand it up. And this is just going to give that slider something to rest against instead of just being on its own. So we'll set that aside and we'll work on the actual mechanism next. We can start on the mechanism, and for that I've got a piece of plastic here that is a little over 8 inches, so just about 8 inches by between 3 and 3.5, that would be fine, whatever you like. And it's going to wrap around, and any excess we can cut off later after we've glued it in place, or put it down with double-sided tape, I should say. And it's going to roll round like this. So this is just some packaging, plastic, as I said. You could use maybe sandwich bags, anything like that. So what I'm going to do is apply my double-sided tape to one of the ends of the plastic. If I can find the end of this, that is, there it is. And I'm just going to run it there. You could use red liner tape if you like, just something to make it stick together. And then I'll wrap it round like this. And it will stick to the other piece of the plastic, the other end of it. And just going to tidy this up just a little bit. Right, remove the backing. Now you don't want it too tight and you don't want it too loose. So kind of a Goldilocks moment here. You'll be able to tell it's sort of wrapping around there. Yeah, it's moving nicely without getting caught and not going to fall past these little tabs here. Now another tip is to take your, wherever your adhesive is here, and move it to the far end over here to the left on this particular case, and so that when you roll it, it doesn't have to slow down. You see how it would slow down as it got there? If you had it here and had all this in place, then that means it's going to struggle a bit. So just place it all the way to the end, and then it doesn't even have to go past this end once you start pulling on the tabs. So we've got that, and the next thing is to prepare the tabs. I've got my tabs and the reinforcements, and what I'm going to do is just to round two of the ends. You don't have to do this, it's just an option. To round these ends as well as the reinforcements. The reinforcement tabs, as I said before, are going to go on the back, and this is where your pull will be here. So I want to actually stamp mine. I've got a little stamp that says pull, and I can do that before I actually attach these. But what you would do is, to make sure that your adhesive does not go past, what you can do is just mark here where the tab begins, and you can rub that out later, and that will tell you where you can actually start applying your adhesive. I'll do it on this one as well. I have this little stamp set here, and this tiny little pull here. I'm just going to put that on the back of my block. I'm going to test it first. Sure. There we are. Now if you don't have a stamp like this, you can of course just write pull here, or pull, whatever you like, or just leave it completely blank if you so want. So now I can go ahead and attach the reinforcement pieces onto the back of the pull tabs. And again, I'm going to use tape for this. So tabs, I've got two pieces that are cut at 4 inches by 3¼ inches, and I'm also going to round two of the ends, just like I did on the main piece. Want to remember, if you're using directional paper, that you have it oriented right, because remember, it's going to be coming from both of these ends here, so you just need to be sure that, you know, they're both upright. Now I'm going to attach the tabs, and I'm going to use the double-sided tape again, so we can put that aside. And I'm going to start with my right side pull and take my double-sided tape and put it all along this edge here. And then what I'll do is attach it. Here, we've got this where we attach the plastic to begin with here on the left. And I'm going to take this, and I'm also going to attach it flush to the edge, on this case, this edge right here. So we're going to place that down. And because you're working on plastic, if you aren't satisfied with it right away, you've still got time to pull it up. So you just want to kind of pull it along and see that it works, which it does. Okay. Now, for the other piece, you're going to put your double-sided tape on the top of the pull tab. So on the decorated side. And this is going to be attached to the other side. So you've got this here. What you do is you just take and flip this over. Take your double-sided tape carrier off. And now you're going to attach it to this flush edge here. So just want to line that up. Okay, and now going to sticking, there it is. It was just sticking for a moment there. Okay. Now we can see our mechanism is pulling from left to right. Now what we want to do is to get it attached to the stand and then the top of our little card. So bring our stand in here. And this is going to be attached here, and what we're going to do is apply double sided foam. I've got some here. And I'm going to have to cut this down a bit because it's too wide. So cut along here, so it's about 1/4 of an inch. And we want to place that along that can use the other side for this piece here. This is just to give it the necessary depth that it needs so that it doesn't catch onto the stand itself, but it needs to stand a little proud of it. So let's get that piece off. There we are. And then I want to take this and attach it to the piece underneath. I have a delivery at the door. To line this up at the easel here, just sort of centering it there, and then our 4.5 by 4.5 piece is going to fit over top. So we've got our easel there, and these are going to pull out like so. So I'm going to get on with the decoration for the top. Front of the card now, and the paper. Paper is cut at 4 1/4 by 4 1/4, so it's going to leave me that little 1/8 inch border. And then I've got the rest of the sentiments. As you see, this is going to be a baby card. And all will be revealed. So I'm going to mount that with some foam tape. I've gone ahead and done a little bit of stamping and fussy cut my stamps out, and also had printed another little piece here. So I'm going to place these down. Here, can you guess what it is? Pull the tab to reveal the news. This is going to be a gender reveal card. Now I need to attach that to the mechanism, and that means I'm going to need some more of this foam tape. So I'm going to cut this in half again, and then I can use one on one side and one on the other. Ready to put this down. Just going to line up one side on the top of that stand, because it's the same size as this card front. So we just line that up there first, and here, and then we'll press all that into place. Now, stands up, and our reveal mechanism slides out. 'Cause. So I've got a little more to add to this. So I'm going to cut this in half. So I'm going to cut this in half, and then I'm going to use I scan and cut. I cut out these words. As you'll see, this is going to be a reveal for twins. Final pieces are these, the final reveal. It's a girl. Or is it? Because it's also a boy. Here we have our gender reveal. Twins. It's a boy. It's a girl. Isn't that just delightful? I am very, very pleased with that. It stands up very nicely. You can see, so you can display it. And you've got room to put a little note on the back. Really nice. So there is our gender reveal double slide surprise. Thank you so much for joining me today for the making of this double slider reveal card, which has a double meaning because it's to reveal a very, very special event. We'll come back for another video very soon, and in the meantime, please be sure that you are subscribed to the channel. Leave a thumbs up if you enjoyed this tutorial today. Comment below. Don't forget to hit the notification button so that you don't miss out on any future uploads. And please share with your friends. Thank you so much. See you soon. Bye. Stay safe and crafty hugs.